King of Kings. It is wondrous. I'm the king.
Hello guys, and welcome to another DC Universe online video. My name is of course Trep, and this video is going to be going through my PVE tanking loadout as Earth. Unfortunately, if you are Flight or you are Acrobat, then you are not going to be able to use this exact loadout because we're going to be using phase dodge, which is available only to the super speeders. Okay, so let's go through the loadout. First of all, let's have a look at the powers that we're using. In the Geokinesis tree, we are going all the way down to Brick. That's because we're going to be using Brick and Damage Shift. This is a pet tanking loadout. We are also going to get Envelop, but we're not actually going to use it. It's literally just to unlock so that we can get further down. Okay, we're not needing any of the other powers in this tree. In the Seismic tree, again, we are going to be going down to get Epicenter, which is our AoE pull. This is the only power that we actually really need on this tree. But again, we need to unlock it, so we've used a localized tremor. Now, Unstoppable can be switched out for one of the powers that I have on the loadout, depending on your personal preference. Still not entirely sure which one I prefer, using Unstoppable or the effect of using the Hard Light Shield from the Iconics. But you can swap those between depending on which one you prefer. And in the Iconics tree, we are using the Hard Light Shield. Like I said, if you prefer using Unstoppable, you don't need this one, but I have them both just in case I want to use either one. The two defensive ones, I have Intimidating Gaze, which gives me 25 dominance, and right at the bottom, Wisdom of Solomon. This really isn't that useful in raids, because obviously we're getting a lot of power from the trolls anyway. This is more for all other times, 100% power. If you're just doing it for raids, then you know, you can choose one of the other powers if you want. Okay. We also need, off the skills tree, to go into super speed, and we need to buy Speed Force, one of the four of this level, one of the PvP ones. But we're actually trying to get down to phase dodge. Okay, now phase dodge, like I said, is only available to super speeders, but it's a really, really good move and pretty vital to this loadout. If you do want to run this loadout but you aren't super speed, the best I can suggest for you is to, instead of purchasing Unstoppable, I would go down and get Gemstone Shield. So instead of getting Localized Tremor and Unstoppable, I would get Upheaval and Gemstone Shield, and use the Gemstone Shield just on its own, so no aftershocking, because it's a pretty good clip. It's quite quick if you don't aftershock it. Okay, you won't obviously get all the benefit of aftershocking, but we're using phase dodgers mainly as a clip, so you could exchange it for this one, but it has a much longer cooldown. So it, you know, obviously phase dodge is preferred, but if you can't get it and you want to use this loadout, this is the best option you've got, is Gemstone Shield without aftershock. Okay. Now the loadout. Okay, so first of all, we've got our two pulls, which are obviously vital for a tank. We've got the AoE pull, which pulls everybody around you and grabs aggro from everybody in your vicinity. It's 360 degree, and like I said, it's AoE. Earth and Grip is a single target pull, but this is useful for, you know, for example in Nexus we've got one of the bosses jumping around to try and grab their attention again, or if someone leaves the group and gets a little bit out of the Epicenter's range, you can always use Earth and Grip to grab them back in. So it's worth having both of these on there so that you've always got a way of pulling people back. Because this is pet tanking, obviously as an Earth tank we get the 25% absorption just by being a tank roll. To get our level 1, we're going to be using our Brick Golem and Damage Shift. Once Brick Golem's up and you've activated Damage Shift, you get a small 10% control resistance just when you hit it. You also get the extra 25% absorption, bringing you up to 50%. Okay. I prefer this to jackhammering or aftershocking loadout, because obviously you can stay in block a bit more. If you have to come out to keep doing aftershocks, you're obviously going to take damage every time you do that. It's pretty quick, but this is obviously going to keep you in block longer. Okay, and finally we've got hard light shield, which is obviously, you know, a shield to reduce damage, and also it allows you to get a little bit of healing in. Okay, because obviously we're using the tactical mod, the healing hands I think it's called, and then we've got phase dodge, which is our clip, and it also deflects a little bit of damage as well. Okay, like I said, you can change the hard light shield for unstoppable if you prefer to have the immunity from stuns more than the shield. Okay, they both have their ups and downs, so it's entirely up to you. Okay, so why this loadout? Okay, well, first of all, let's have a look at phase dodge. Phase dodge does this like shaking effect, lasts for a few seconds, and then has a pretty cool cooldown. But the thing that we can use this is that we can go straight into the block after using it, so we don't have to wait for it to do the move. So we can block straight away, which means it's almost no move at all. Okay, so for the few seconds while you are, the less than half a second that you are out of block, you actually are sending damage back and reducing damage coming in because your thing, so you actually shouldn't take any damage while doing that. And obviously it's a great clip because it's almost instant cooldown. Okay, now we can use that to clip other powers as well. So for example, if we want to clip our shield, oops, didn't do that very well. There we go. So we've clipped the shield, animation, and gone straight into block. Okay, and we can use that for anything. We can use it for the AoE pull, yeah, the single target pull. Okay, so obviously it's a great clip. If you clip every move, the more time you're going to be spending in block. Okay, it basically just negates any chance that you're going to take damage while you're using your powers. Okay, it's also useful for getting your brick up. Now obviously brick's going to go down. Okay, when you first go in, you're going to have brick up and you can have your damage shift on, so that's not a problem. But when he goes down, you obviously need to get him up as quickly as possible to get your extra 25%. You shouldn't panic, because I've seen a lot of earth tanks panic to get their brick back up, thinking that they are going to die if they don't. To be honest, while you're in block, you're not going to die instantly. Okay, so you do have time to wait for the opportune moment when the enemy's finished an attack for you to then get your brick out. But to get brick out, normally what people were doing is using brick and then clipping it with damage shift. Okay, but that's about a 4-second animation there, 3 to 4 seconds animation. Okay, with his arms in the air. Okay, now while I'm doing that animation, I'm liable to get hit. Okay, and I'm going to be taking your damage. So we can clip that as well with phase dodge. Okay, so there we go. So we've got brick out, we've got our damage shift, then we've clipped with phase dodge and gone straight into a block. Okay, so in less than a second or around a second, we've managed to do all of that. Okay, and because we've clipped it so quickly, we probably wouldn't have taken any damage extra that we would have done if we were waiting for this animation to finish. Okay, so phase dodge basically is just allowing us to use all of our powers with almost no cooldown. Okay, and you can use it to clip your trinkets as well. I mean, obviously even a trinket takes some time. Okay, that is the quickest clip you're going to get, is phase dodge. Okay, you're not going to find a quicker clip. Okay, unfortunately, like I said, you can't use that if you're not super speed. If you're using gemstone shield, it's a pretty quick clip, not quite as fast as phase dodge, but unfortunately it has a much longer cooldown. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using, phase dodge, and that's pretty much it. So obviously, you know, as a tank, you use your pulls to grab aggro, the first 2 powers. Yeah, you've got your brick and your damage shift to get your extra 25%. You've got a shield, which with the healing hands gives you a self heal to yourself, and also obviously protects from incoming damage for a little bit. It's not exactly a lot, but it's reasonable. and you've got your phase dodge, which is your clip. Okay guys, the only thing you'll need to make sure that you have is that you have your tactical mods on. Mine have actually run out, I think. Yes, they have, yeah. Okay, so here you go. So make sure that you have your tactical mods on. You have the block ability, which adds 7,400 defense and prevents up to 80% of incoming damage. And the hands, which obviously gives you healing from a shielding power. Okay, that means that you'll get a little bit of heal from your shield. It's not going to be great, it's not going to be massive, but you know, it all helps. Alright, and that's pretty much it guys. Hopefully you find success with this loadout. I found it a lot harder to tank with using, you know, different shielding loadouts and things like that I'd been using in the past. This is, as far as I can see, the best tanking loadout for Nexus and Paradox for an Earth super speed character. Okay guys, thank you very much and see you later.